That was awesome, man. Singing and playing at the same time. That's awesome.
It's like counterpoint. It's a little difficult.
So tell us your name.
I am Laura Mendoza. I sing lead and play bass with the three-piece hard rock band White Shag.
Okay, so thank you for coming to the BASSmint, Laura. The BASSmint, that's BASSmint. Like to thank all our viewers, because you know you're gonna get a few views off of this. I think you're gonna put us to at least 1.5 million. So seriously,
that's crazy.
Wait till they find out about this.
That's right.
And so thank you for coming to hang out with us. Thank you guys for watching, and thank all of you bass players for hanging out in the BASSmint with us. That being said, I'd like to introduce our panel of bassists. Can we start on my left? Tell us your name, sir.
Yeah, I would happen to be Pope Star, Popalicious.
BASSmint alumni.
Nice.
What is that you got in your hand, brother?
Oh, right. It's the Pope Star series. Just in
I
case
gotta zoom out a little bit.
Let me turn that light on just in case you can't see what I'm doing. Take that back off there. Boom, there it is. Also known as Orange Pope. I wonder why. Yeah.
Next to him is another Detroit bass player and alumni. Tell us your name.
Andrew Stroop.
And what is that you have there, brother?
My Music Man.
That's right, brother.
Beautiful instrument.
And next to him, we have another Detroit bass player,
Yes, sir.
and the BASSmint alumni. Maybe, I don't know. We're gonna do an interview with him. So, tell us your name.
Greg Motown Hose.
That's right.
Welcome to the BASSmint, sir. And what's that you got? What kind of bass that you?
A modulus.
Modulus. Let me take a look at
That's a
that.
collector's item. They don't make them anymore.
Nope.
They don't.
Nope.
Also next to him, tell us your name.
Eric Markley.
Another Detroit bass player in the BASSmint alumni who has not been interviewed yet, but will. So y'all keep watching, because we're going to get him. He's been to like 5 of these things, and I keep telling him I'm going to get him, and I haven't got him yet. So I hope y'all be a part of the episode that I'm finally going to get him on.
Oh, this is a jazz bass, Geddy Lee signature model.
Sweet, right?
Yeah, that looks like a Geddy Lee bass there.
You can do that.
Watch out for the twinning machines on them. You got to get new ones. They don't last. They don't last forever.
Wow.
Okay. Also on my right, tell us your name, sir.
Carlos Hunter.
Another Detroit bass player by way of Inkster. What's that?
That's a
What's that you got in your hand?
BJ playing guitar.
All right. BJ play.
Precision style bass. Next to him, tell us your name, sir.
Mr. Window.
Mr. Window. This man, y'all don't know legends when y'all see him, but he probably don't see that when he look in the mirror. But this man's a legendary Detroit bass player, a real Detroit bass player. He drink the water in Detroit. He's so bad he ain't even bring a bass. You see what I'm saying?
He is a bass.
He is a bass. He is a bass.
You look at him, you go, man, that dude.
What's up, man? Also next to him, tell us your name.
My name is DC Washington.
DC Washington, man.
I have a Bill Dickens model, signature model, 7-string. Conklin model, yeah.
Ooh, Bill Dickens, that's a bad boy. And that strap right there, man. Every time I say something, every time I talk, that strap light up, man. That's a nice strap. That's one of yours?
It's my invention. Never been born before.
We're going to interview this guy next. He said third. So He's going to be the next interview. Now, I don't know when we're going to show it, but we're going to interview him next, and we're going to talk about these straps.
Pontiac, representing Pontiac.
Pontiac, you out of Pontiac?
No,
Michigan?
Yeah. Illinois.
And there's a Pontiac, Texas, too. So,
That's true.
There's also Pontiac Indian time.
Yeah.
so we're going to talk about him and these things that he make light up that listens to my voice only. I appreciate that. Also, hanging out with us, the American man. What's your name?
Tyler.
Welcome to the basement, Tyler. Tyler is going to be a budding bass player. How old are you?
10.
Get out.
At 11, I need you back in the basement with a bass, brother, all right?
Right.
Alright.
Okay, next thing, tell us your name.
Reginald Canty.
Reginald Canty, again, another legend. He don't even need a bass because this is his
That's over
house.
there in the corner.
He's sitting there.
Thank you for letting us, allowing us to use this basement to do these wonderful roundtables and interviews. Next to him, tell us your name.
Steve Burkhalter.
What?
Steve Burkhardt,
Yes, sir.
Yes.
another Detroit bass player and BASSmint alumni. And what's kind of bass that you got there, brother?
Sadowski.
Sadowski.
Dowski 5-string.
Yep.
And next to him, we got with us another, in my eyes, if he ain't a legend now, he's going to be tomorrow. So tell us your name.
I'm Chris Bogdan Batney. How you doing?
Chris Bogdan Batney.
That's me.
And we're going to do an interview with this guy. And this is going to be an awesome interview too, folks. And what kind of bass that you got?
This is something that I assembled myself back in the 80s.
Let me see the whole
And I call it a Bogdan P bass because it's perfect. The intonation on every fret position is absolutely perfect. I've been tweaking this for 30 years. And this is my main bass. It's just a junkster.
I seen Susie Quattro playing one of those long time ago, and I wanted one. I could never find one.
Is that plexiglass?
Yeah.
All right, y'all can ask them on this interview all little questions. Sorry for that, Laura. I just have to thank all of these bass players for coming and hanging out in the basement. I think that's awesome for y'all to come and hang out in the basement. I think it's awesome for you to come as well and let us do an interview. So my first question to you, Laura, is when did you start playing the bass and why?
That's an interesting story. I actually have only been playing the bass for about 5 or 6 years. Wow. I was a rhythm guitar player actually before that. I've been playing the guitar since I was like 10. I've been singing since I was 4. I started playing the piano probably when I was like 18. I played the trumpet. I started playing the trumpet when I was 10. So I heard you say something about the trumpet. Yeah, and like the whole thing about playing the bass came out of necessity, is really what it was. We had White Shag was a 4-piece, and we had a bass player. He was a little busy for a bass player, for a rock band bass player. I felt, you know, when you play rock music, you need to really lay that thick, you know, harmony down and hold that down. Especially when there's just a guitar and drums. You hold hands with the drums and you hold hands with the guitar. Yeah. So, you know, you got to keep it simple, I think. Right. More so than when you're playing funk or you're playing, you know, whatever it may be. So we needed a bass player, so I was like, you know what, I'm just going to do it. I'm just going to sing and play the bass.
If you want something done right, you got to do it yourself sometimes, right?
That's what I said. So I just grabbed it. I mean, really, you know, going from rhythm guitar to the bass was really easy. It's like going from regular Crayola crayons to jumbo Crayola crayons. You know what I mean? Literally. You know? So that is a challenge within itself, you know, as well, because, you know, I'm female, you know, so I guess I'm a little more tender than the men are. So my hands area. So of course, you know, you know, maybe my hands are a little finer than some. I don't know, though. My hands are kind of big for a female, so, you know.
Okay.
But I think, you know, that was a really easy transition for me. And then, you know, as a kid, I was always doing this with my fingers. You know,
it was inevitable.
My right hand is really my claim to fame. Like, I never really consider myself a bass player. I just say that I played the bass.
It was inevitable. If you going around dwindling your fingers on your lap, you're going to be a bass player.
Yeah.
Now, what kind of bass is that you have there? I got to get a closer look at this.
This is actually a K bass. It's a vintage K bass. Wow. It's probably from like 78 or 79. It's a replica of the Gibson EBO. EBO, not the EB3. The EBO.
How long have you had that?
I've had this bass for I think like 4 or 5 years, something like that. I got it like not too long after I started playing. One of my friends, she had it in her basement. Wow. Ironically, her basement.
Yeah, that's BASSmint.
That's
Yeah.
right.
And we just got some other people walked in right in the middle of the interview, y'all. And just y'all just stay right there, have a seat, enjoy, and we're gonna get to y'all in a second. And but before we get to that, what's your name?
Naya.
Anaya, another bass player. You got to pull that bass out so we can take a look at it right quick. I hate to just catch you walking in and just like pull your bass out, let me see it. But that's the theme of this beginning interview.
Very nice.
Oh yeah, and what kind of bass is that?
Ibanez.
Okay, and then that's Mom's, right? That's
Yes.
Kiwana, right?
Yes.
Okay, we're gonna get to y'all in a second. Now, she was just talking about, y'all just missed it. She was talking about that she was a lady bass player and she might be tender and all of that
More
stuff.
tender than men.
But do you ride motorcycles?
I do.
Well, then you ain't tender then. How you gonna ride I'm for real. When I see somebody riding a motorcycle, first thing I think of is the Sons of Anarchy. So I'm already judging you all just off of that
She got the assistant right now.
off of that TV show.
Yeah.
Okay,
I'm Harley.
I'm sorry for that, but
I used to work down the street actually.
did you?
Down Telegraph, yeah. And Biker Bob's used to sell motorcycles there.
I'm sorry for that.
That's all right.
So, but let me say this: singing and playing the bass is, to me, it appears as though it's quite a hard, complicated task to accomplish. Is
It's
it just?
counterpoint. You know, that's what it is. It's counterpoint, essentially. It's easier to play rhythm guitar and sing. It's a lot easier. Playing the bass is a little bit different. I mean,
'Cause you play
whether your
single
fingers are
notes.
moving or not, this finger is still, you know, he's gotta hang on. Well, in rock music at least, you know, I play along with the drummer. You know, sometimes I'll even do like I'll do his drum fills with him. You know, just to beef that up. You know, and to beef up the harmony too.
Makes sense.
And yeah, I think that's the right thing to do for the style of music that we play. You know what I mean? You don't need to be a fancy bass player to do it. And I mean, you know, I'm singing at the same time. I'm not just singing either. I'm moving a lot.
Yeah, she
I move a lot on stage. I got good rhythm, you know. And that's the thing about being a bass player. Is you gotta have good rhythm. That's the number one rule.
And your current band is called what?
White shag, like a white shag rug.
Okay, how long have you guys been doing your thing?
Probably about six years. Yeah, a little over 6 years.
Okay, because I heard after doing a little research, after I was introduced to you, somebody's like, hey, when you going to get Laura Mendoza in the basement? I was like, who is Laura Mendoza? So I started doing some research, and then I started watching some of the videos available. Social media makes everything so accessible now.
It's true.
So a lot of stuff anyway. So I saw it, I'm like, this
Also a curse too.
Yeah.
Yeah, in ways.
I'm like, this lady is awesome, and she just has no trouble doing her role as a vocalist and bassist in the group White Shag. And then I heard that you guys, like, you know, y'all did everything in Detroit, so you had to take the show up on the road and did it yourself again. If you need something done right, do it yourself. So you like took the band on the road. Tell me a little bit about that.
It was a few years ago actually. We went on tour to South by Southwest, and it's kind of funny because what I did was essentially I asked my nephew who was in Detroit at the time. I said, can I borrow your name and phone number, and if someone calls you, can you act like, you know, you're a booking agent or something? He's like, yeah, I can do that. I'm like, all right, cool. And everything I had to do was through email, so I was contacting these venues and pretending I was my nephew and I was booking us. And it worked out. I mean, we did I booked us a full tour, you know. Now we actually are working with someone who's going to be booking us.
Good.
So we just put out an album. It's called White Shag.
Is this a debut album?
No, this is our first full-length album. We
So
did
everything
an
was
EP back in
EPs?
2012, yeah. We did an EP back in 2012.
Now you guys have a nice following. What type of music do you do?
It's hard rock. That's really the category that I would put it in. It's kind of poppy. You know, it's got the MC5 roots in it. Obviously, the Stooges. You know, the Stones. A little bit of the Stones. Fancy guitar playing. You know, all over the map. Big drums. You know, hard. You know, strong voice. Right,
and you guys you guys have such a nice following, and people come and fill out your shows every time. Like even at your the debut of your CD release, I heard you wasn't expecting so many, and then it was like a full house.
Yeah, it was really good.
That's because you guys are hot. You see what I'm saying? And to just to really bag up what I'm saying about how hot they are. Last night, tell me what happened.
Last night we won a Detroit Music Award. Woo! Best alternative indie band.
Now,
sorry, I remember all those.
Now, for those who don't know, Detroit Music Awards is a big thing. Yes, you know what I'm saying, for musicians and music. Some past winners and nominees are BASSmint alumni. You know, like. My boy, what's his name? Chuck Bartels. He just won an award last night. He's a BASSmint alumni. Tony Green, T-Money Green. Yep. He won about three or four of them.
Great bass player.
And again, alumni in the BASSmint. So y'all want to check out. So that's.
He won last night too, didn't he? Has he been here yet?
No, but we trying to get him in here. Yeah. So my thing is, I appreciate all of these big time bass players that's winning awards and all that kind of stuff. They still come and hang out with us little guys, you know.
Oh, come on, man.
I mean, well,
it's important. You're absolutely right.
Yeah. So I appreciate that. And the only thing I ever won was a box of Snickers. So maybe
still time.
Yeah, maybe one day. So favorite bass players?
Well, I mean, I admire Suzi Quatro a lot. I didn't know who she was until I started singing and playing the bass, because everybody's like, "Oh, you're like Suzi Quatro."
Was she there last night?
She was not. She was there a few years ago.
Yeah,
right. She was there a few years ago. We won an award that year too for best hard rock band.
Yeah, I was there that night.
Yeah,
when they played, when
Suzi played,
when she played, I was there.
Awards, yeah, that was good. She's great. She's really, really great. She sings and plays the bass too.
Anybody else?
You know, Jacko, of course. I used to listen to him a lot in college. I went to school for music in college, I went to school for music in Santiago, Chile. I was there for 7 years. My mother's Chilean, and we listened to a lot of Jacko back in the day.
Can you speak some Chile?
Chile? Spanish?
Okay. Well, okay, Mendoza, I should have known. Oh, my bad.
Okay.
Anybody else that you digging on that bass guitar?
Bootsy, of course. We listened to a lot of him in college too. Yeah, that was fun. That was a good time back then.
She's having flashbacks.
Yeah. I hung around a lot of bass players, so you know, and I wrote for the bass. I wrote for every instrument, so that's why it was so easy for me to pick up the bass, because I just knew what it had to do for what, because I've been writing for bass for so long. So, but yeah, Jacko definitely, Bootsy, of course, Susie's great. You know. Okay,
now what you got coming up for the future, Laura? What's up with Laura Mendoza and White Shag, or are they parallel? Is Laura or
well, my
some
band
separate
is just
stuff?
you know, we just go by White Shag. You know, we're all, you know, a unit together. We're gonna be going on tour probably, and I'm probably gonna start working on some solo material. So probably doing my own thing on the side, and you know, going out there and see what's out there.
Right, folks. So y'all folks just watching this around the country, because we got quite a few viewers that love bass. Follow this lady. We're gonna give up that information shortly, and go check out Laura Mendoza and White Shag when they come to a venue near you. Now, with that said, I'm gonna change gears a little bit. What kind of strings you use?
What is that?
GHS.
GHS strings. Now I want you to know this. That's a banner behind you that says GHS strings. That's what we use here in the basement. GHS sponsors some of these shows, and we're gonna get you a 4-string set of GHS strings, and these.
He got his GPS phone.
GPS, that's right.
No, did I say GPS again?
No.
Oh, okay. So let me see that pack right there. What kind of GPS strings are those?
GHS round core bass boomers.
Those are the most popular.
Mediums.
That's most popular.
That's a good string.
Most popular
Right
type
on.
string.
I wouldn't
Okay.
know what to do with a 5th string, man.
Okay.
A little crazy there.
All right. So yeah, you take those with you, and I didn't want to keep you. You know what I'm saying? I ain't want to keep you or nothing like that. But if anybody else have any questions for this fine bassist?
I have one.
Okay, let's start this
What I was
one.
wondering is, you mentioned writing. You're talking about actual musical notation.
Absolutely.
Not a lot of people mention that.
Yeah,
And
I
that's
used
one
to
of the
have to
reasons I asked.
handwrite our scores in college.
Yes, me too.
Right. So I was writing for 50-piece orchestras.
Yeah.
You know.
You just brought a smile to my face.
Do you do that with your band too now?
I write a lot. I mean, I write a lot of the songs.
You
yeah.
score it out for them? Well,
I
no.
can if we have to, but you just don't
normally
need
you don't.
to
Yeah,
anymore.
right.
I mean, really, I just use simple charts. I just put the chords, and the lyrics. I mean, really, if you want to, license your songs properly, you really should write them out in sheet music.
Yeah.
But yeah, we used to have to write out all of our scores. It was a pain in the butt. Oh my gosh.
Anybody else have any questions?
I have a question. Do you work during the day and play at night?
I was doing that for a while, but now I'm just playing music.
Okay.
So
Well,
I can use some more gigs. So I also sing and play the guitar. So and I do a lot of stuff in Spanish. Because I was there. I went to school there. I was there for so many years.
There's so many professional Detroit bass players that have to make ends meet by supplementing their music career with another job. I mean, I do it myself. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah,
Pope does
I
it.
probably will again.
This dude does it.
So do I.
This dude does it.
I have to do it.
He does it.
But there are some professionals that don't have to do it.
I got a question.
And then there are some professionals that just
Don't have-
always on the
I
road.
have a question.
Yes,
Did you touch on the piano?
I did. I used to play the bass. Actually, another bass player who I admire is Raymond Zarek. He's
Sure.
his left hand, man.
And his feet.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was a fantastic bass player. Those bass lines, I just love that. You hear that constant, whatever he's doing, whatever he may be doing.
I have another
But yeah.
question.
Okay.
How do you deal with your husband or boyfriend as being when you're on stage and you have to tour and you travel? The jealousy maybe if they don't, or do you have the understanding with them that they understand you and they get that? There's no jealousy.
Well, ironically, I was actually in a relationship with the guitarist in my band for 7 years. So, if I don't know, I guess we dealt with it. He was seeing everything that was happening. So there was a lot of that. But I'm single now, so I don't really know how someone would handle me being in a band. I mean, I've dealt with, I've had other boyfriends when I was in Chile, but they were Chilean, so they were a little different than men here, They're a little more possessive, so they didn't like it at all. That I used to get,
Okay.
That's
a lot of
terrible.
So how did you deal with it? How did you?
I just had to keep moving forward.
Yeah,
I had to if you're not going to support me, and it wasn't just jealousy of, other men coming at me or whatever. It was also a thing of jealousy of being jealous of a woman, doing what I did, and especially in Chile, because women didn't do what I did. That was a man's thing. So that was more of an issue of jealousy than actually dealing with the cat calls and all that, which, that's, you walk 100 feet, you get cat called like 20 times.
Well,
Anybody.
Anybody else have a question?
So obviously since I write for Bass Gear magazine, what kind of rig do you use, and do you use any pedals or anything like that?
Oh, absolutely. I use a big muff. That's all I use. I just use a big muff, and I generally like boosts up in the choruses, you know, or more intense parts of chorus bridges, you know, things like that to really fuzz it up a lot more.
So is that what a big muff is? It's a
Yeah,
fuzzy.
it's got a lot of fuzz, and I mean that's kind of the style. Like the
Fuzz is kind of a distortion-y type.
Yeah, for sure.
For those who
And like
don't,
it also
don't
like
know.
boosts the volume too.
Little overdrive.
Yeah, it's like an overdrive for the bass, pretty much.
Okay.
But it sounds fantastic. I love
What kind of
Right now I'm playing out of a Ampeg 115.
Reggie, bring her up.
Right.
She's got a
that would that would have been cool. Okay, that is
I was
funny.
playing SWR though, Working Man Pro.
Okay, one quick question. The bass is amazingly quiet for, you know, a lower K, you know, an older bass that, you know, not name brand. Did you do any hot rodding to it?
No, I didn't. I just had it rewired. Coots did it for me.
So, yeah,
I just had it rewired.
grounded it.
These pickups are the original pickups, and they're actually like they have leather on them. These pickups.
I've got the same pickup on this.
Yeah,
Except I took that off and put this over it. It's the same.
Oh no way.
Yeah, it's I got it off of an old what was the Sears brand? Not the airline.
Silvertone.
It was the
Silvertone.
same pickups. It was-
Yeah, well they
Not
they put
Tesla.
out a bass to compete with all the bass playing that was going because who had done it? Rickenbacker
Yes.
had made the first electric bass, and then Gibson tried to make a smaller one. In fact, the original, you know, what's that bass that Paul McCartney plays?
The Hoffer Beetle bass.
That one actually had like a stem. It was an upright at first, you know, and then after that they took the stem off of it at the bottom, you know. But yeah, I forgot what we were talking about. Yeah. I love Japanese basses. Ironically, I actually have another Japanese vintage bass at my house. That one's really beautiful. I'll send you a picture of that.
We'll just post it right here, right now.
Yeah, anyways, this Jap bass that you see right here, the body on it is just absolutely gorgeous. I've never seen a body style on this bass. It looks something in between like an SG and, you know, like a Strat, really, because it's got little horns, but they're kind of rounded out, but they're angled like a like a P bass. So it's a really, really cool bass. I tried the neck on it. The action's really high on it though. So, and I have flat ones on that because it's easier to play, you know, with the action so high on that particular bass. But that one, that's a cool bass and it sounds really cool too. I had Kuntz take a look at that as well. So we couldn't get the neck any further. So. But yeah, that's a Japanese vintage bass too. I picked up in Nashville actually a few years ago when we were doing something there.
So, Laura, man, I really thank you for coming and hang out with us in the basement.
Honored.
and we're going to
so
be
many great bass players, actual bass players. You know?
Yeah, we're going to be doing some round tables too, where we just no interviews, we just discuss bass.
That's cool.
And you think you can stick around and hang out with us for that?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, I got that on camera. Yeah. Thank you, because we can use your expertise. So I ain't want to keep you, but if we wanted to get in touch with you, hang out with White Shag, and hang out with Laura Mendoza, do you have any social?
Yes,
anything.
Absolutely.
So what you got?
I'm on my band White Shag. You can go to whiteshag.com and all the links to our Facebook, Twitter, Instagram are there. I have an Instagram account, Smokin' Mendoza. And then I'm on Twitter as well, Smokin' Mendoza, and then I also have a page on Facebook, Laura Mendoza, which I just like published not too long ago.
So, is there anything that you would like to say in closing?
Persevere.
What does that mean?
Keep moving forward. Keep doing what you're doing. If you keep working hard and you give it your all, you'll get where you want to go. But you got to put all your heart into it.
Okay, so with that said, could you just play us a little bit of something out?
Sure.
Ladies and gentlemen, bass players, Laura Mendoza. All right.
Yeah.